following show is a paid program.
Family, what's up? On today, we have a great guest, but I wanted you to tell you about the lineup this week. It is amazing. You probably saw it a little earlier, but today we'll have YARBROUGH and Peoples. Tomorrow we'll have Andre Savelle. Wednesday we're going to have Mary Griffin. Teresa Grayson is Thursday, and to close us out is Lloyd Hughes. This is Black Music 360. But on today, we have one of the best duos that I know of, YARBROUGH and Peoples. That is Kevin YARBROUGH and Elisa Lois Peoples YARBROUGH. Hey, duo, I love you guys.
Hey,
oh,
how you doing?
I love you all. How you doing?
We love you more. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Oh, my God. If I haven't heard Don't Stop the Music all yesterday and today, I just put it on repeat.
Yay! Yay! That's awesome.
Everybody
That's
huh?
Go ahead. No,
go ahead, Kevin.
That's what Frankie Crocker did.
Absolutely. Just keep going and going. Everybody asked me the question. The first thing they said is, how did you meet?
Well, we met years and years and years ago. I was a 5-year-old girl going to my piano classes.
Yes.
My mom would walk me around to the piano classes, and he was the little boy that was before me.
I was younger.
Right.
I like
But
that.
he was right before me, and of course my mom would always have me there early, so I would have a chance to set in or listen to some of his session.
And cheat.
Oh, great.
And right. and so I had a chance to see him. I saw his spirit before before he even knew I was seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his spirit.
Wow.
See, let me tell you something that you don't know.
Okay.
All it takes is for her to hear something one time,
Right.
and she can play it. God gave her that.
Wow.
So she used to come early, listen to my rehearsal, and cheat. Because she already knew it when she got in there.
Oh my
Now,
God.
that explains that.
That explains
That
that.
explains it.
That explains that.
Uh-huh.
We want to celebrate the fact that you all have been together married 33 years, and together how long?
Oh my goodness.
Since I would say
Since she was 5, I told her I was going to marry her.
No, he told me he was going to marry me when I was 12 years old, right?
Right.
But he already had about 30 girlfriends.
Okay.
And so I didn't believe him, Cam. I did not believe him. And so later, after years and years, he'd been out on the road with Leon Russell, and
Yes.
he'd been out, and he comes back, and he acts like he really likes me, and I really can't believe it.
I really did like it.
After all these years.
Wow. Wow. I like to go back to the fact that you all first were introduced to the Gap band Charlie Wilson. Let's talk about that and that opportunity.
Well, Charlie was on the road when I was with Leon Russell and singing background. The Gap band was the actual band
Yes.
that played for Leon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I met Charlie during that time. We became good friends. He came to Dallas doing a concert with the Gap band, and we were playing at a club. I said, I got to go tell Charlie to come by the club after the show tonight. Well, they did come by, and he was impressed. I could tell he was just truly impressed, but they had to get out of there. So the next morning, you had to know Lonnie to know how it goes. Lonnie was rounding up everybody and sitting in the buses on the thing, and he invited me and Lois down. And he said, if you can get to California and bring your stuff, I don't have time to listen right now, But if you can get to California and bring your stuff, I'll I'll uh I'll listen.
Okay.
So what happened was Caven's dad bought him the infamous burn rubber car.
The car that starts up burn rubber on me.
Right.
The one that screeches off.
Right.
That's Caven's car.
That's my car.
That's your car.
And so he got the car, and my dad got the gas. And off we go on our journey to fulfill our dream.
In Los Angeles, you know.
Right.
And that Volkswagen soon became our house.
Yes.
The living room.
The living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and the bedroom.
Yeah.
Was that Volkswagen.
So let's talk
because
about
things
that
didn't happen as.
Let's talk about that a little bit, about the fact that you got there to California, and then what happened?
Yeah, things didn't happen as fast as we expected them to.
Yeah.
The little spending money that our parents gave us, it went away very, very, very fast in California. You have to think about the cost of living in Dallas, Texas versus the cost of living in California. It was amazingly different.
Our favorite restaurant was a little spot called the Dog House. We used to go get the tuna sandwich and one large drink.
And half in it.
And half in the sandwich and drink the drink together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That would be our dinner.
But you know, if we had told our parents that we were going through this, they would have made us come back home.
Oh.
It wasn't like we were desolate. We were homeless, yes, but we weren't desolate because we still had our parents and we still had Dallas and we still had our homes to come to. But we did not, number one, want to go home failures.
Right.
And number two, you know, we didn't want our parents to be let down by children who they put their expectations and believed in our dreams.
Yes.
And we didn't want to let them down. So it made us want to work that much harder to make it work.
Yes.
We can't stop. We can't stop right now.
Absolutely. I love that fact. I want you all to I want to mention too, that you all grew up in the church and somebody has a pastors as a dad or so, a minister.
You know how it is in church, preachers and missionaries. Those were our parents.
And
that
to let you all go.
Grounding.
Yeah, but to let you all leave and go secular, how was that?
Well, let me tell you, in some instances, it was not well received, of course.
Right.
She stayed in longer than I did.
Yeah.
And my dad used to always tell her, can you get my son? Can you bring him back?
Yeah.
He belongs here in church. And,
Yeah.
and she was there playing for the church and doing that. And she tried.
Yeah.
She tried. You know, it was like life had too much to offer for this kid to just stop, you know. And now,
you know, I'm going to tell you what really did it. And we're being very candid here.
Yeah.
We're at Jada Pinkett's red table right now.
Yes.
Watch it.
I love it. Yes, you are.
But I got pregnant, and I was like the darling, I guess you could say, of the church. You know,
Yes.
I was playing the keyboards. I was into the all of the workshops and things that were going on at that time.
Yes.
I was in the conventions. I was standing behind Twinkie Clark trying to learn how to work the drawbars on the organ.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I learned.
Yes.
But and then in the midst of all of this, I get pregnant. And when you get pregnant in the church, I know you saw that from the Clark sisters episode.
Yes.
You kind of get set down.
Yes.
And the thing about setting a person down is this. You already are confused because you're young and you're pregnant and you feel like you're all alone. You already feel like you've let everybody down.
Yes.
And number two, the gifts that God has given you to use you have now told me I can no longer use them.
Yes.
That's
And number three, you did not tell me that I had to sit down because I had sex or I did what was against the Bible, but you
Yes.
told me I got pregnant, which meant for a young girl is that I just shouldn't have got caught.
Right.
That was the mix.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I think that, in thinking back, I wish that there had been more of a more thought process for that person who's suffering,
Yes.
really suffering by themselves.
Yes.
And so when the church set me down, that's when Caven said, well, look, let's just take our music to another level.
Yes.
Let's go and find us a record deal and start doing that. And so actually the church not allowing me to go forth was one of the reasons we ended up going to California.
There you go. And let's be clear about the church. That's Church of God in Christ.
right.
Boy, look at him now.
That's not just a church. That's the Church of God in Christ. And in the black community, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I heard the story with we were brought up under very sort of
Yes.
strict circumstance.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were a very different people. And now don't get me wrong. I love my Church of God in Christ.
Yes.
I love that spirit. I could not have been in a better place to be taught
Yeah.
the word of God.
Mhm.
And so, no, I'm not ever coming against where I came from. But there are things in every church that needs to be addressed and properly, either disposed of or changed.
Right.
In order to look out for the soul of that person and not necessarily what it looks like to the rest of the world.
Right. But I say that just to tell the world how tough it was.
Yes.
It's
It was
tougher.
so tough that she had a whole wardrobe of pants and things that she couldn't wear around the house.
Exactly.
In back of my
Exactly.
car.
Exactly. I know. I knew that. I knew that.
We used to be on our way to the club. She'd be in the back seat. What about these jeans? What about these jeans?
Trying to say, I can't stand you. You know that.
I know exactly what you went through. It was not easy. I tell you that. It wasn't easy. Yeah.
And
But
I was for some reason, I was chosen to be the bad boy at the church.
Yeah.
So she was warned against me.
No, see, let me tell you something. He talking about he was chosen to be the bad boy. He need to take that end off the end of it. He chose.
He chose. He chose that. I love that. I love it. He chose that part, right?
I just don't know why people give other people's testimony.
What was
Yeah.
the
He was
pivotal,
sort of a bad boy. And,
yeah.
huh?
What was the pivotal point?
I didn't hear you, honey.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, what was the pivotal point for you all? I know you all stayed, but what was the pivotal point to go from you staying to being in the car to doing a little better?
Oh, man. It was a blessing from Almighty God.
Yeah.
We just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Came to the studio. Well, we were in between sleeping in the car. Sometimes we would go to the studio and just hang around all day.
Right.
Trying to get, just wanting to get in and get some people. And we would see the Gap Band come in and we do some background for y'all. And that's one of the ways that we ended up.
Because they fed you at the session.
They fed you at the session. And that was one of the ways that we ended up on singing background on all the Gap Band stuff.
Wow.
Was hanging out at that studio trying to get a record deal.
Yeah.
They didn't mind us hanging out because when we came prepared. I had about 5 keyboards, popular keyboards that I used to rent to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So if I came
So
to the studio, they didn't have to go nowhere to rent. they could say, Caven,
We
you
need
know,
this.
we need this.
Right.
And so you also got all those things like the sounds from the drop the bomb, the bomb sounds from that. And of
Yes.
course, the infamous Burn Rubber Mobile is
Beeper
Caven
Freak.
Beeper Freak, the beeper and stuff. All those little
The
things.
train on Party Train.
Party Train. Woo woo. All of those things were things that Caven did.
Wow.
And then you've got me and Caven and Val Young and those of us singing background on those records, and Charlie Wilson singing background or singing with us on our records. All of us were singing together.
Right.
But before all of that happened, we would sneak in the back. And this was after the policeman shined that light on us and told us to move on around out of the park.
In Griffith Park, we were sleeping in front of the observatory.
They moved us out of our house there, right? So we would park our car, and then we would sleep on the back stairs at the Total Experience.
Wow.
And one day Lonnie came, and he was coming down those stairs, and we were laying there asleep. And he woke us up, and he had tears in his eyes. And he reached in his pocket, and he said, "Hey, go get y'all a room and somewhere to rest, and come back tomorrow. We're going to do something."
Uh-huh.
And Caven and I went, and for the first time, and I don't know when, we laid in a bed where we could actually rest.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was heaven to be able to do that in a little cheap motel.
Yeah.
But the next day we came back, and Lonnie was having a meeting with some executives from Mercury Records. Wow. And a Mercury Polygram, and they were in the studio in the booth talking.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, they're in there, we can go in the other part and they won't hear us, because it's hard for me to pass a baby grand piano and not touch it. So we went in and we started sitting down and singing and playing to ourselves. And unbeknownst to us, Bill Haywood, yes, who was the vice president of Mercury Records, had asked Lonnie to push that button where he could hear us. And we were auditioning without even knowing it.
He said, "What are they doing? What are they doing out there?"
Right.
He said, "Oh, they just messing around." He says, "Let me hear what they're doing." And listened. And
he loved it. He told Lonnie, sign
them today.
Right today. Yes.
That day, we got our record deal.
Wow. Wow. I love the
fact. So you see, it had a lot to do with Charlie, it had a lot to do with Lonnie, but it had mostly to do with his rest in peace, Bill Haywood.
Bill Haywood.
Yeah, yes. He was the one that said, sign them today.
He started the ball going.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you all have been together, but there was one caveat I saw, that they still didn't want you all to be together when you were out.
Right. Right. They were, they didn't want us to say that we were lovers, friends,
right,
married, and especially married. They didn't want that because they thought that they could get more mileage from us being single.
Yeah.
A single couple.
Yes.
Well, you know, I knew a single, like Roger, what's his name? Roger? P.T.
Roger Mosley.
Roger Mosley came up to
me.
He came to me in the club one night. He said, "Say, man, is it true?" I said, "What?" He said, "Y'all not together? Yeah, that ain't your woman?"
Uh-oh.
I said, "Well."
Uh-oh.
And I didn't answer. And he said, "Oh, man, I knew that wasn't true." He said, "If that ain't your woman, I'm going to go hit her. I'm going to tell you that right now." Then there was Roger Mosley and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Ooh.
At that time. Yeah, I was going to fight Sugar Ray. Hey,
right.
I'll fight you. Sugar
Ray. Right.
No, they were real cool.
These guys, this is the one thing I can say, and I really appreciate this about being in the industry. Right. People talk about the casting couch. They talk about the things that women have to go through in order to have a career.
Yes.
And I'm here to tell you that it's not always so. It's not always true. The guys around me were very respectful of me.
Mm-hmm.
They took up mantles like they were my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They saw that I was not the kind of person that wanted to be hardened and wanted to sleep around. And you can tell when a person does not want to be that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Lord blessed me to have some good people around me.
Plus, they saw my cape.
Yeah,
I
they
think
saw
they saw
his
Caven.
Yeah, baby. Huh?
He's Superman.
I'm
He was
Superman, baby.
Superman.
Watch, you see my face, don't you? He's Superman.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I was Superman. They knew I was Superman. Hercules.
Help him, Jesus.
Wherever crazy.
Help him. Lord, hear me when I pray.
What we're going to do, let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back with the dynamic duo, Yarbrough and Peoples.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we're back. We're back with Yarbrough and Peoples. Hey, family. I love Yarbrough and Peoples. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, man. I just want... There's a question that everybody wants to know, and this has always been the question. It's 40 plus million people that are at home and unemployed at this moment, but they have the dream to go into music. Many of them do. They don't want to go back to a job. They don't want to go, do corporate America, but they want to follow their dream. What would you tell them?
Have a made-up mind.
Yeah.
Have your made-up mind, because it requires a made-up mind and a strong heart to go through what it takes to be in the industry today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree with Caven, and I also say have good material. If you're going to be
right.
a singer or a songwriter, put your best foot forward.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you're going to go forth, and I don't care if you're going forth in mime, dance, anything that's musical. Right. First of all, if you're going to create, you have to connect with the creator.
Yes.
That's the first.
Yes.
And the second thing is you've always got to do what you're doing as if there was a talent scout from heaven sitting on the back row watching.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've got to give your all every single time you do whatever you do.
Right.
It has to be you need to be exhausted when you finish.
Yes.
Because you've given so much.
Yes. Yes, yes.
We used to have a director who would check that one point that he'd always say, "Don't perform for me, sing to me."
Yes.
We were trying to figure out what that meant for the longest.
Right.
And we used to get up there, oh, and he said, don't perform for me, sing for me.
Let me know
Yes.
what this song means.
Let me know what the song means.
Yes.
You know, so it allows you to get into the song and not into yourself.
Yes.
It's not so much about yourself anymore. It's about the message. It's about what you need people to know from you. Whether it's I need you to get up and dance,
Yes.
or I need you to come out of that bad mood you're in, or baby, it's gonna be okay. Just
Yes.
hold on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's from your heart.
Yeah. The other part of it is that we always call it music, but it's called the music business for a reason. What about the business part? We always forget that part. Many people are not, represented or something like that. It's the business where they lose. Let's talk to them about the business part of the music business.
Yes, sir.
Most of the time, we're always so excited or elated
Yes.
to be in, to get in the studio, to start doing it, to write a song. When we write a song, when we do that, that business goes out the window.
Yes.
And once you've finished what you've done, it's kind of hard to go back and recapture and get, because it's already done. Especially if you're dealing with people who know about the business and know how to get over on you.
Yes.
And they are there in every business. They're there, but you have to know your business. First of all, you need to know your business. You need to study your business. You need to go to school, learn about the business of music.
Yes.
Get you an education about it when you're young. When everybody else is playing kickball and just going to football games, you need to be studying.
Yes.
Not only do you need to study your craft and what you're doing, but you need to study the business of your craft. And you need to surround yourself with other people in the business who support what you're doing.
Yes.
Whether you need a manager, whether you need an agent, whether you need whatever you need, your support unit, you need to have those people around you.
Yes.
My other thing I would add to that is own what you do.
Ooh, yes.
Hello. Nobody can take it from you.
Yes.
If you own what you do.
Yes.
And that's something I learned
the hard way.
Own what you do.
And take care of your business beforehand, not afterwards.
Not afterwards.
I don't care how fast the presentation comes. I don't care how fast the offer comes. Remember that there are verbal contracts as well.
Yes.
So be careful of the things that you say, the things that you promise.
Or that you're promised.
Or that you are promised.
Yes.
And get your stuff in writing and put your stuff in writing.
Yes. Yes, yes. Because you all talked just real briefly about one thing that happened. You all were moved into a mansion and then you had to move out.
No.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You know what? There are people who watched Unsung, and they're still mad about that. We see them on the street, and they be like, you know what? I really want to get that Charlie Wilson for what he did to y'all.
It was mostly Lonnie. It wasn't Charlie, though.
Well, yeah, Charlie was in.
He moved on in.
Yeah,
he moved
well, let's briefly tell them what happened. Let's tell them what happened. Let's briefly tell them.
Okay, Kay, when you tell them, and then I'll tell them, and then I'll tell them if your story is right.
we had been living in the hotel for a year,
and had a #1 record.
Had a #1 record. So we said we want a house, we want a place, we want a place we can call on, we want to lay our head down, we want a dog, but we want somewhere we can stay. And so we went he said, well, go find them a house. Well,
so Don Alexander
and Pam found this house for us. When they found the house, they got the greatest deal on it, and the people were excited because we had a hit record. They knew who we were. Well,
next door to George Duke.
Next door to George Duke.
Woo! Talking about in half water.
Yeah, and actually,
Neil Long
lives over there.
Yeah, she was living over there then.
Nice neighborhood. Anyway, they moved us in. We were happy there for a minute. The Gap Band was on the road. Charlie and them heard about the house, and
when he came
when
home,
they came home, said,
he
"Man, I
drove
better
by.
have
He
a house like that."
he drove by and saw it.
Yeah.
And when he drove by and saw it, he was like, "Oh, they got me living in a condo in Westlake." Who's your horse? Who's your horse? Am I the horse or are they the horse? You know.
Want me to come to the studio? Give me that house.
Give me that house. So Lonnie called Don, and Don came over. And Don was acting as our manager as well, Don Alexander.
Yeah.
And he was really heartbroken to be able to tell us that.
I'm going to have to move y'all to the condo.
Yeah, Max
and
wants
move
y'all to move.
over here.
Yeah.
It'll be better for you financially anyway. And
we got number one record, ain't getting no money.
A long story.
At least we could have
a long story. A long story. Anyway, to make that long story short, Charlie lived in a very nice condo out at Westlake.
At Westlake, and that's where they switched us out. They moved us to Westlake, and they moved him into our house.
Right.
And
which he stayed in for 3 to
4 weeks, months
before the community voted them out.
Yeah, they had people to sign
a
petition for them to move out because of the wild parties. And at that time, Charlie was in the haymaker of, his dealing with what he was dealing with.
Right.
And so they didn't want that over there in that neighborhood, and I understood it. So the beautiful house that we got, that they ended up getting, they ended up losing anyway.
Wow.
And so they should have just left us there, you know?
Yeah. That's what I was waiting for you to say.
We wasn't bothering nobody.
Like the kids said, we weren't bothering nobody.
They do say that. I love that. I wanted people to know that about you all, about the fact that it's not always easy in the music business.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Quite often it's hard.
Yeah.
She like I told you, we talked about our piano playing and how you play.
Yes.
She played better than a grown man, but they wouldn't let her play for years.
Wow.
Because I was a girl.
Wow.
She was a girl.
I was a girl, and they were like, girls they just don't have what guys have. And Kaven kept saying, you just don't know.
Y'all don't know. She played harder than me. Y'all don't even know.
So now I'm handling up a Hammond B3 organ and a baby grand keyboard.
And you play by ear.
Drums and singing.
I hear you play by ear. You don't even look at the music. You play by ear.
Well, yes. I try to make them think I'm looking at the music. If you let me hear it one time, I've got it.
I know.
And I don't know. It's just something the Lord gave me.
Yes.
And I just pick up on music, and I can, I'm not good with names.
She called you.
I'm not good with names. I'm not good with a whole lot of other things. But if I've ever heard music,
yeah,
from I can tell you music that I was playing when I was 5, when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
I can still remember it, and it's just one of those things that I think God blessed me with.
He did, because the beautiful part about what you do, and I've seen different interviews and things, and you play, you don't even know. I've studied on you, and you can tell what key it's in. You can just tell them it's in this key.
Exactly. We used to say, Lois, what key is this song in?
Exactly. Exactly. What key is that?
And she'd say F sharp. We can't wait till we get to ding, F sharp. Yeah.
They be trying to trip me up.
Yeah. I could tell. I looked at a whole lot of interviews and I've studied. Yeah, you could pick up. She would say, it's that one. Let's play it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow,
that's absolutely
amazing.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
They ask when we go to the studio sometimes, has your wife heard this yet?
Wow.
Why? I played a little wrong note right here. Has your wife heard this yet? When she hears it, that's the exact note she goes to and says something about it. And we have a guitar player who's who fears her.
No. Oh,
He fears
man.
her.
You know, I'm going to tell you what happened. This guy is an amazing guitar player. His name is Mark Harper. Play for everybody you know.
Right.
But at the beginning of Don't Stop the Music, if you remember, it's
yes.
Da, 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 and there's a guitar lick. Da, 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 right?
Yeah.
Da, 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 right?
Yeah.
So he would always do something else there, and I would go, now, what you did was really nice, and it was cool, but it's not the lick that's on the record. For this gig, I need you to be precise and do the same thing that's on the record, because it's going, people are looking for this to go to do something else with. And so now he every time we're together, he messes with me about that. I wanted for
yeah, he's.
People want to know how.
If it's not there for me.
People want to know this one question they're asking me. They keep asking me, how did you stay together 33 years in the industry? Married.
The industry didn't make us.
Married 33, I should say. Married 33.
The industry didn't make us.
Yes.
So the industry couldn't take us
from being friends. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was really good.
That was good. That was a good one. I love that. I love that.
It's my geniality.
It sounded good. Now, now, Lois, is that right?
That was amazing what he just said, because it was true. When you are already intertwined with one another,
yes,
it's kind of hard to undo all the threads.
Yes.
And it takes a long time for people to really be able to undo those threads. And so what we were able to do was intertwine with each other before we made it into the business, before we got married.
Yes.
Before all of this happened, we were already as one, as you can hear from the song on the first or second album, as one.
Yes.
We were already that. The two of us together can conquer the world.
Wow.
And what a beautiful world it is when you're,
in love. Love helps conquer all that.
Absolutely.
That was the very first song that Kaven and I wrote together. And that was the very first song that we recorded as a team.
Wow.
At the Total Experience.
The two of us.
The two of us.
Wow.
Matter of fact, that was the name.
Yeah, that was the name of the first album.
Yeah. That's what I told you.
All I can say is that one thing about you two is that we know you as YARBROUGH and Peoples. We love you, love you, love you. And my God, thank God for you all. Thank God for you.
Thank you for loving us. We love you right back. Because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
100-fold. Wow. This is where we get to say thank you so much, because it's been a long, this year we're celebrating 40 years of Don't Stop the Music.
Yes.
And all of that time, it's you and people like you that have supported us, that have held us up.
Yes.
When you didn't see us, you still played our music.
Yes.
You still loved on us. And right now we pay homage to you. We thank you.
All I can say is shout out to my buddy Andre Savelle. He said, you got to get my friends on. But Mo Jones was on Friday, and he said, that's family.
He's the best.
Andre's the man. He's the man.
Man, I'm telling you, he's another one of those angels that God brought into our lives.
Right, right.
Just another
Mine
angel.
too.
Don't believe it, look at YARBROUGHPeople.net.
Absolutely.
That's what
absolutely. This is the end for all of us. Can you believe it? I can't believe the show.
Let it just be to be continued.
There you go. To be continued. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything.
Back.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back.
Absolutely. I'm going to hold you to it. Boy, I love YARBROUGH and Peoples. Thank you guys for tuning in. On tomorrow, I will have Andre Savelle, my friend that introduced us. He is one of the best. Thank you. See you tomorrow, 12:30 Central. Bye.